And for Kevin Taylor, the same betu bi anu which him say bank bi a wa Ghana ha say Ghana ban aton ediama eye Switzerland for nti wa we see kada bank obi ano but money na cost ha bank go ne ko yiska no free honum no ka sansem we tu bi na manfo bebre yam hyeso mo the particular bank in question no abadin senior betu bi as within Simon the Shine. If today happens to be your first day, not subscribing, not like a video, not share my phone so any be ahead. And before we go on to in summer bank in the let me take you straight to in summer Kevin Taylor I can't hear no tiama bangi I did a press release about omo catcher man for say omo nya botoye mom you go see Kevin Taylor embra e ba e be rap press release a bangi e dia betu dwane omo nsama omo kana de omo pese omo kire ema omo customers nyina no you go take Kevin Taylor embra.
Now breaking news nyina say bank ewo Ghana for save ho the government of Ghana aton. Listen to me. The government of Ghana, they have sold Ghana Bank. Now they have sold the bank to wine. When did they do that? What I can tell you today, a few days or few weeks to come, they will come and tell you in a very diplomatic way. But that banking clean up from here, this government through Baumia, Oforiata, and Addison, they are trying to clean their asses. But what a bank that belongs to Ghana has been sold, and yet is being sold. It has been sold. If you have money in these banks, and this bank I'm about to mention, tomorrow go and take your money. See, say oh sikada any this bank I'm about to mention. Ochina ko you sika. Na ye town bank na ma broni. If Baumia and the MPP say banking and clean up from here, it was supposed to save the banks and make the banks resolute and make the bank very, very resolute to be in Ghanaian market to work for the people. I don't think say banking closure say adi the better results by and committee and come and can't say omaton. They have sold the bank to some Switzerland abrofo no maton bank na momo. Omobaba na nsia beka chem say sa bank no maton. And the name of the bank is this bank. Egigim. CBG. Consolidated Bank Ghana Limited. The NPP government, they have sold it. CBG nina they have sold the bank to some Swiss business company. The bank is going to come and take over CBG. They are going to own it. They have sold it. It does not belong to you again. Now these are let me minimize this. These are the banks MPP for power almost say almost banking cleanup. You remember these banks and almost say they have done what? They have merged all of them, and that they have merged them. Bank of Ghana say waka banks when you now boom audited bank bako Ediama Ghana into CBG is a fully owned banker. It is fully owned by Ghanaians. A Ghana for bank. Construction bank omuguno almost omunguno omo merge. The Beige Bank, the Royal Bank, Unibank and Sovereign Bank. Almost banks we nyina no mo buy the no mo dwuma di omo di no enko enim. Into omo kan mo nyina bomu omo no mo kan say a measure. And omo de CBG. As I speak to you, they have sold it. Billions they have shared the money. Next week, next 2 weeks, next 3 weeks, they are going to come tell you so my tongue in a different language. In a different language. So when you go back into records, now could see in Summer Bank of Ghana, Ekafa, the decision they took to do the banking cleanup now. This is what they actually said. Mami Enchel Bibi Muncho. Nami Mauncho said these people are criminals. The banking closure now it was a lie. Now, so we read it government establishes new indigenous bank Bank of Ghana revokes licenses of 5 banks and appoints receiver in respect of their assets and liabilities. Bank of Ghana say sa bank ro sizi ni nya no jomo japade ni nyina e no de te bank baako into omo sika nyina e kai no okane nyina bom no de te CBG a be ye Ghana dia. Into ready a point A now. What has happened to Unibank Ghana Limited, the Royal Bank Limited, Beige Bank Limited, Sovereign Bank Limited, and Construction Bank Limited? This was the answer Bank of Ghana gave. The Bank of Ghana has revoked the banking licenses of these 5 banks and has appointed a receiver over their assets and liabilities. Deposits and selected assets and liabilities of these banks have been acquired and assumed by a new bank, Consolidated Bank Ghana Limited. All deposits of the 5 banks are safe. Listen, all deposits of 5 banks are safe and have been transferred to the Consolidated Bank. Almost Sa bank 5 ni sika ekemu no ni nyina ye safe omo move sika ni nyina de akosha ade friend Consolidated Bank mu. Now all deposits of the 5 banks are safe and have been transferred to the Consolidated Bank. Customers can carry out their businesses as usual at their respective banks, which will now become branches of Consolidated Bank. All staff of these banks will become staff of Consolidated Bank. Board of directors and shareholders of these banks no longer have any roles. Bank of Ghana catcher say sa 5 banks we di nyina ka bom aye the Consolidated Bank. Sika na ehye sa 5 banks ni nyina no sa sika no di akohyem na friend Consolidated Bank. In say time a ye sa de we no sa ukọ na sa ukoto bank bi ti say Okoto bank bi to say a construction bank. Okoto bank is a Beige bank. Okoto bank is a Royal bank. Unibank, any sovereign banker. Oko na say omo te wa. Me hu omo so omo Unibank. Me hu omo say omo sovereign bank. Me hu omo so omo Royal bank. Omo nyina na ate bank ba ko na de omo nyina bom say Consolidated Bank. Sa bank na yaton. Now, this is what the Bank of Ghana said. Time omo de a banking closure. A issue ni ba no. These are some of the things they said. Does government of Ghana intend to own Consolidated Bank Limited forever? See, we're a Bank of Ghana document. There was one question that they were asking the Bank of Ghana. Does government of Ghana intend to own Consolidated Bank Ghana Limited forever? This was the answer. The government of Ghana intends to offload its shares in Consolidated Bank Ghana Limited within a period of 2 years. Now, the government intends to give ordinary Ghanaians the opportunity to acquire shares. The opportunity to acquire these shares. Remember, Consolidated Bank was established by the Bank of Ghana. It means to say, sa bank na say a Bank of Ghana neti no eye mene Ghana ni yedia. And a man for Busa Bank of Ghana say, na sa Consolidated Bank we a bedroom baby a Bank of Ghana be in safe free one and a Bank of Ghana for say ane ye be in safe free ye safe free one ye the bema Ghana for. Yeah, the bank ne shares ni nyina bema Ghana for na Ghana for a only bank no. But as we speak today, they have sold the bank to Switzerland for and amaton bank na momo. Omo beba be catch them. I went to Switzerland. A colleague journalist gave me this information because he's also investigating what is happening in Switzerland. I followed this story for about 6 months. I was quiet. I wanted to see. A colleague journalist in Switzerland I was working with said they have done the deal. They have sold this bank to a Swiss company. Into Consolidated Bank, Bank of Ghana didn't catch them say after 2 years they will sell it to Ghanaians, but they are now selling it to Swiss. They are selling to Switzerland for. I'll leave it here today. That is the breaking news. Into CBG. Enam Ghana 5 banks kabomu no Consolidated Bank Ghana na almost say about to save Ghanaians they have sold CBG. That's the breaking news here. First, the Bank of Ghana governor Ken Oforiatta led this. The finance minister knows any Nana Addo Akuffo they want to clean their tracks. Sika almost banking clean up. They are cleaning their tracks right now. Town sa CBG way at the mass Switzerland for when it come to power, make NDC for it's going to be tough for you to investigate this issue because now there's a third party who now owns 100 or 80 or 90% of the shares. How are you going to fight that? They have sold your property to the Swiss. These banks, this CBG was supposed to be given to Ghanaians. That is a breaking news. Catch a Ghana for Kevin Taylor and the breaking will have first. Do not forget. Padie book no eno na sebio omo implement bibia wom moma kan page 5 de wom a echese CBG bank no na eda omo enisi se omo beton ejapadie book ni page 5 hwe wo de o si edi agro okay page 5 are biological children. Omo say these are banks in which we should have controlling interest. The collapse of the local banks with ties to the opposition NDC and other rival political factions during the cleanup operations undertaken by the mother was a resounding success. It facilitated the flow of substantial financial resources into our war fund through backflow of some of the advertised cleanup costs. The NDC has been poor in coherently and consistently demanding detailed accountability and audit of the funds spent. The process further led to the establishment of Consolidated Bank of Ghana, currently a wholly owned Government of Ghana bank, and our proxies are well placed to take controlling interests when the bank is eventually returned to private ownership. This is the line that is very important. I'm say the NDC has been poor in coherently and consistently demanding detailed accountability and audit of the funds spent. The process further led to the establishment of Consolidated Bank Ghana, that's the CBG, currently a wholly owned Government of Ghana bank, and our proxies are well placed to take controlling interest when the bank is eventually returned to private ownership. So from the beginning, they had an idea, say, Omobeti BB a friend Consolidated Bank. Answer no mobile power no. They knew they were going to shut banks down. And almost shut banks down, they will group them and call them Consolidated Bank. What they are going to do is say, their people are going to set up companies overseas. Then what they are going to do is say, they will sell their bank to them. Now later, no, it becomes theirs forever. And no, accomplishment simple and clean. I don't want to go further, but I'll read the other one down there. Mr. S, do you want me to read everything or the third paragraph? Mr. S, do you want me to read the third paragraph? The third paragraph says this: the takeover of CBG and the acquisition of significant equity holding in the GAT assisted banks represent our strategy for direct play in the commercial banking space in the country. As a result of our hold on these banks, two goals will be met, namely direct financial contribution in the form of dividends, and secondly, the granting of funding support to our designated local businesses. So, they already had the plan in there. My catcher when they say CBG, it has been sold to the Swiss. Ya Thomas Switzerland for be now. Know the funny thing, almost Switzerland and Akuffo. And the funny thing is, Swiss are taking full ownership of the bank. Ghana for money peace. Bejam about 10% to be. We are free power no. Then they own the CBG. And as we speak right now, technically, Consolidated Bank Ghana Limited, it belongs to Akuffo and his family. You don't go too much. I will allow you to go out there. Wait for them. They will come and tell you. Wait for them.
And for the Kevin tell and some of the 2 year watch them to be uncle in Sika and on a Consolidated Bank Ghana Limited. I didn't say me about 2 year watch him say Consolidated Bank Ghana Limited wishes to categorically refute social media reports alleging that the bank has been sold. There has been no change in the ownership of the bank, and government of Ghana remains the sole shareholder. We wish to state that reports of sale of the bank are entirely false and misleading. There is therefore no cause for concern regarding customer deposit and bank's operational integrity. The bank continues to deliver exceptional customer service and innovative products. As the SME bank of choice, the loyalty and trust placed in us by our customers are highly appreciated. We assure our cherished customers that their funds are secure with the bank and urge the public to rely on the bank's official communication channels for any information. Signed by CBG. CBG for person mo kyerɛ mo sɛ nsɛm a ɛkɔ so na nsɛm a Kevin Taylor bɛtu da sɛ yɛatɔn bank no ana yɛde ownership mama ɛyɛ Switzerland foɔ na den ni nyina wɔn pɛ sɛ mo kyerɛ mo sɛ nokura bi ani saa asɛm nim nokura bi ani asɛm na ɛyɛ Kevin Taylor ɛka na mo ka kyerɛ customers ne sɛ they shouldn't rely on any information any third party bi yɛ aba bɛtu dwa sɛ regarding services of Consolidated Bank Ghana. So who any information regarding Consolidated Bank of Ghana? I'm about to say home official pages. I hope I don't hear information. I also put out any information here. I hope I don't on the battle. And more be rely on any information on social any media. And so to much they are refuted and summer Kevin Taylor Betna social media kase Ghana by Aton Consolidated Bank Ghana ama Switzerland abroad for some Mumbai. Adwuma ɛwɔ na manfo nko yom sika na mo kyerɛ ba no kora bia any sansem we adafo beti ba kyerɛ wa adwen ɛwɔ nsɛm a ɛkɔ so yi ho no like video no share ma foforo nso enya bi ahwɛ. If today happens to be your first day so then you subscribe, you like the video maka e be say share any developing story bia abeba about this issue no I'll make sure something the be brel ɛwɔ shiny questions maka e be say share.